welcome to another installment of my series for hand knitting an entire 1890s biking ensemble. And today we're going to talk about how to protect these wonderful digits. I wanted to make a matching pair of gloves to go with the bicycling outfit. And in the pattern book that I'm using, which is from 1899, there is a suggested pair of biking gloves that I really wanted to knit. This pattern involves some brioche knitting, it involves some interesting kind of false cable looking spiral stitches. I really enjoy this pattern. It's available for free if you want to on my website, engineeringknits.com. If you go to the book section, I scanned it all in, so you are welcome to take a look and try your own version of these gloves. Overall, I really enjoyed knitting these, and let's get right into making them. For this project, I used a set of 1mm double-pointed needles. I only needed 4 and some lace yarn. I had this alpaca cloud lace yarn left over from my combinations project. For those of you who have been around for a long time, that was one of my earliest knitting projects from the Victorian era, and it was really exciting to be able to use the leftovers from that project for these gloves. If you're also interested in getting this yarn, I'll leave a link in the description below. This project is knit in the round for the most part, however, the beginning is knit flat as it is brioche knitting. I learned that you can do brioche knitting in the round, but this pattern has you started off knitting flat and then you knit in the brioche style for quite some time. Now the brioche section is done, along with some decreases at the sides. This is knit flat so far, but we're now going to switch from knitting flat to knitting in the round. So this is the point when you get to the wrist where you start knitting in the round and you knit just a rib stitch of knit 1, purl 1. Once the wrist section is finished, you are ready to move on to the hand section. And don't worry about that little open slit at the bottom where the arm part is where you knit the brioche, because that's going to be sewn up as part of the finishing steps. What's also kind of fun is I learned for the first time how to do what the pattern called a spiral stitch, which is a decorative stitch on the top, and it looks almost like a cable. And what you do is you knit the second stitch on your needle first without slipping either off, and then you knit the first stitch that's up next on your needle and you slip both off, and then you have a small twisted cable or spiral stitch as the pattern calls it. I thought this was kind of neat. I like knitting old patterns because they still teach me new things. Hello everyone, I just wanted to check in after a few days of knitting on this pair of gloves, and I finished the entire hand portion. You can see that there's a hole for the thumb right here, and you have a really pretty slip stitch or twisted stitch pattern on the top of the hand here. This is going to be the glove for my left hand, so it's opposite to the instructions that are written. All that I have left at the moment is to make each of the fingers on my glove and sew everything up. From here on out, let's get to the fingers. It is now the next morning, and as you probably saw just before this, I completely finished the left glove, and it fits, well, it fits like a glove. I'm very happy with it. Now we just need to do this exact same thing but for the right glove. But I will say I am a bit sneaky. I have already knit the right glove. The right glove doesn't fit quite as well as the left glove does. This is the one I knit first, and I think I made the ring finger on this one a little bit too short, but I made some adjustments on the left one, and now the left one fits perfectly. I'm debating undoing the ring finger here and reknitting it slightly longer so that it fits me a little bit better. And then I have to take care of all of these fringes you see here. I have to knit in all the ends, kind of secure some of the holes that you see here when I'm knitting in these ends, and sew up the bottom of these gloves where the brioche knitting is, or the patent musta is. And then these gloves are finished. They are a faster knit than I thought they would be. I have knit a pair of Victorian mittens before, and those took me a very long time. I don't know why these were a bit faster for me. So I knit in the evenings, and on day 1 I finished until the brioche and half the wrist. On day 2 it was the rest of the wrist and the most of the hand. And then yesterday, which is day 3, I finished all the fingers. So it was about 3 days of evening knitting for me for one of the gloves. So about less than a week, and I was done with both gloves. So join me now as I weave in all of these ends. I feel like a puppet master, you know, with all the strings. Okay, I'm gonna weave these ends in, and then I'll show you the finished gloves. And after knitting in all of those ends and sewing up the arm portion of the gloves, they are fully finished. Yes, I did go back, and on the right glove, I did undo the ring finger and reknit it. I'm so glad that I did because it fits so much better now. I'm really happy with these gloves. It is quite cold outside right now, and they do offer some pretty good protection against the cold because they're baby alpaca and they are so soft and so cuddly. I can't wait to wear this with the rest of my biking ensemble, so feel free to subscribe as I will be continuing to put out videos over the next few weeks of the other parts of this ensemble. I did want to let you know that I will probably be taking a 1 or 2 week break just over the new year so that I can spend some time with my family, and I hope you all have a very happy new year, and I will see you back in about mid-January. Thank you so much. Bye.